My name is Carl Otto, and I'm an old gorilla, PSU graduate of 1950 with the BS and 57 with the Masters. And my son is a Kansas State representative from the 9th District, and he told me that the other day the gorilla football team was up at the Capitol building, and they put on quite a show, I guess. Gus went around shaking hands with everybody, and he got to meet most of the team members. And we're really proud of those boys because they are the world, or the national champions of last year. And he also said that they told him that those boys had a 3.0 grade point average. And that's pretty doggone good for a college football team to have a 3.0 average. And I was thinking when he told me that, how proud old Carney Smith would have been of that, of those guys. You know, Carney, they don't know Carney, but I knew Carney. I was in college at the time and took classes from Carney. And one of the things that he did emphasize was academics. And I'll tell you a little story about how he insisted on academics, because one day in a class, I think it was the theory and practice of football, but one of the guys was making a report, and he did have us do reports, and in his report he said, "I ain't got no." And when he said, "I ain't got no," Carney just slammed his hand down on the desk like that, and he said, "Sit down, Louie." Well, we'd all about fell out of our chairs. If there's anybody asleep, that sure woke them up. But, well, nobody slept in Carney's class. Anyway, he got up from behind his desk, and he paced around a little bit, and then he said, "Well, Louie, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pick you out. But," he said, "I've been sitting up here listening to you guys make these reports, and I have never heard such atrocious grammar." And Louis said, "I ain't got no." And you guys are saying, "I have saw, I seen, I have went." And he enumerated a number of grammatical errors that we've been making, and he said, "You guys are going to be going out of here as teachers. Some of you will be teaching next year. And with that kind of grammar, that's terrible." Of course, you know, most of us were World War II veterans who'd come back we'd been on the GI Bill. In fact, I was one that even was a high school dropout, but I guess I was scared to death the war was going to get over before I got into it. But then I came back, and I did go on to college. In fact, ended a career as superintendent of schools my last 15 years. But Carney then told us we're going to have basic grammar. And so for the next week or 2 weeks, I forget how long it was, we had grammar lessons. And so Carney Smith Stadium was properly named, I think, because he was a great guy. He really was. He was one of the best things that ever happened to PSU, I think. And he would really be proud of these gorillas, the 2011 gorilla football team, because not only because they were champions, but because I think more because they had a 3.0 grade point average.